Good morning, everyone. My name's Suede. I've been a member of the Tree Run Sangha for a while now, and I'm giving a talk called Chillin Like a Villain. So, this talk is going to be about relaxation. So, what I thought I'd do is we'll just start by closing our eyes. I invite everybody to close your eyes and just to have a look in your body, not do anything, but just notice in your body where you're feeling tightness and where you're feeling tension. So hopefully because of this meditation, uh, you won't be that tight or tense, but there will be something there. It might be in your neck, stomach, your foot even. Just notice. And then I'll invite you to open your eyes and just stand up, and everyone at home too. Stand up, and we're just going to relax our bodies just to get into it. And I thought we'd just get rid of all the tension, and we'd use the very dharmic words of Taylor Swift. Right, and just shake it all out. That's it. Shake the arms, shake the shoulders, shake the legs. Oh, look, everyone at home's doing it too. Arms, neck, walk, stomach, dance away. And when you feel relaxed, you can sit down again. Thank you, Taylor. And thank you, everyone. So hopefully you're feeling a bit relaxed now. And you might have noticed that now there's a bit of a smile on your face because when your body relaxes, somehow that kind of affects your mood slightly. And that's kind of what I'm talking about today, how we can use relaxation and the body to further our Dharma practice. Because there's quite a lot of talk about how the body can be used in relaxation, can be used in meditation. So like the focus has been just turned in meditation to relaxing the body, and embodied meditation is very much in vogue at the moment. But we don't really talk about how relaxing the body off the cushion can help your Dharma practice. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. So I would suggest that we can use relaxation of the body as like a lodestar. And a lodestar is like a guiding star that ancient people used to use before they had, sat nav and Google and maps and everything. They used to use that star to know where they were going, and conversely to know when they were going in the wrong direction. So I'm suggesting that you could possibly use the relaxation of your body, being aware of when your body's relaxed and when it's not, as a guide to show you when you're heading in the right path on your practice and when you're not. So I'll talk about that a little bit more later. So I've called this talk Chillin Like a Villain, and that's because it's about relaxation, but why the villain? In my head, I think of someone like a villain, a criminal, as someone who would be constantly alert because they would be worried about, the police coming or someone stealing their stash. So I'm not talking about relaxation like being comatose or being slothful or, letting it all hang out. We're talking about being relaxed, but at the same time, maintaining that alertness, that awareness. So it's alertness and awareness, but without the tension, with a relaxed body. Does that make sense? It's a bit of a stretch, but, but I went there. And before I get fully into this talk, I just want to there's a little caveat here. I am not an expert at this, and I like to choose things to talk about that I'm working on, that I haven't got down yet. So things that I'm finding difficult or working with, I like to choose to do talks about so that I can go into it more deeply and encourage my own practice. So I find it really hard to relax. My muscles are really quite constantly tense. And I also find it hard to be aware of how my body's feeling. So I'm finding this helpful, and I hope that you might too. So I'm going to be talking about relaxing the body in 3 ways. In meditation, off the cushion to help your Dharma practice, and in life in general. So firstly, we go to relaxing in meditation. So, we know that relaxing the mind is really important for meditation. You can't meditate with a mind that's obsessed or focused on something or that can't relax. But also physically, the body is important as the mind in meditation. You need to have a relaxed body when you meditate. Because if your body is tense, then your mind is in fight or flight or in hyper alert. Your mind is looking for something. There's a problem because my body's telling me something's happening. So you need to relax your body fully in meditation. And I think you can't really have a really deep meditation. And this is everything I say is up for discussion. You might find this different. And maybe in your discussion groups you could bring this up. But I find that I only get deep meditations when I completely relax my body. Insight doesn't arise for me unless I've let go my body completely. So for reflection and for insight, I think relaxation of the body in meditation is vital. So I use relaxation and meditation also as a way of telling me that my mind is starting to wander off. It's what I call my tell. A tell is something that gives you away. So my tell in meditation is when my body starts to get a bit tight. So I have noticed when I start to think of something in meditation, I tense up ever so slightly. Sometimes it can be in the eyes, sometimes it can be in the shoulders. I don't know where it is for you, but you might want to think about this. And so when I'm in meditation and I find my mind starts to go into that story of whatever I'm thinking about, and I'm not aware that I've left and I'm on my way out the door, but my body is. And it's my body that's telling me, oh, look at that, yeah. And so that's how I can bring myself back before I've got in my mind. So I use the relaxing my body and being aware of the tension in my body to bring myself back. So I find that when I breathe, when I'm breathing out, I make sure I'm relaxing. Every time I breathe out, I make sure I'm relaxing. And I find that in meditation, every time your mind wanders, and of course your mind wanders, everybody's mind wanders, even the great no-shows. Everybody's mind wanders. And when you bring it back, you need to let go and relax completely. Because if you don't bring it back and relax completely, your body is still slightly tight from that thought process. And so you're not completely relaxed. And so your one foot is out the door already. So you need to make sure when you're in meditation that you're bringing yourself back and relaxing each time. So those are the reasons that I find that relaxing the body is really, really important and helpful for meditation. So next we're going to move on to relaxing the body outside meditation, so in your Dharma practice. So I don't think we've really focused on this very much before, which is why I'm interested to talk about it. I found 5 ways that I find being relaxed physically helps my Dharma practice. So I'm going to share these with you. So for the first one is for mindfulness. So as Buddhists, we are trying to be constantly mindful of what we're thinking, how we're feeling, and what we're doing. And I was only very recently, I realized that I thought mindfulness was all about the mind. What's my mind doing? So, for example, if I'm doing the washing up, I'd be thinking, okay, I'm trying to be mindfulness. Think about the washing up. Just think about the washing up. And it never really worked. And then I realized, so it's more helpful for me to think of it as not mindfulness, but bodyfulness. So when I'm thinking of it as bodyfulness, I'm thinking about what is my body doing? Is my body relaxed? And when I'm relaxed, then my mind relaxes as well. So then I go to that place that I find it's about here, and my mind just gently drifts down there. My body's relaxed, and then I'm focusing on what I'm doing. So somehow being mindful of the body helps being mindful of the mind. I don't know how that works. And that didn't really come that well. But that's, for example, when I'm doing the washing up, I find, okay, relax. I'm relaxed. And then I'm really open and soft. And it's really easy just to do what I'm doing and stay present with it without having to try and think, be mindful. So that's how I find relaxation of the body helpful with mindfulness. Second one is, for me, being relaxed helps me to see the gap. So in Buddhism, we try and see the gap, which is find that gap between the perception of sensory input and your response, your reaction. And when you're tense, it's hard to see that gap. So, for example, and a lot of my examples will revolve around children. So when the children are really winding me up, I've told them, put the lid on that apple juice, and they haven't, and then they knock it over, and I'm just about to lose it. Sit down, sweetie. Thank you. Well, that has happened. Anyway, and I'm just about to lose it. If I'm tight, I cannot get a gap in there. But if I realize I'm tight, and then I just relax my body and literally take a step back and let it go, then I have some space there between the input and my reaction. So I can then see, okay, that reaction that was just about to come out of your mouth is not going to be skillful. How can I reframe that? How can I react skillfully? So that's how I find relaxing helpful, being able to see that gap. And moving on from seeing the gap, I find relaxing the body helps me to let go of the ego as well. So in Buddhism, we're often trying to stop with what we call the selfing, which is where it's all about me, and that there isn't a fixed sense of me. So I find relaxing the body, I can relax, let go of the ego, I can relax. So using that example of the kids, I can let go, and instead of thinking, they are driving me crazy, now I have to clean up this apple juice, this is wasting my time, I can... Well, this is
not what you do.
This is what thinking in my mind, this is what goes through my mind. Anyway, I can relax my body and think, okay, what do the children need? What is the most skillful response here that will be helpful for them? And then I can let go of it. So that's the third way I think it helps for me, relaxing the body, letting go of the ego. The fourth way is that I find relaxing the body is conducive to compassion. I think it's hard to open your heart if your body is tense. I think it's much easier if you're relaxed. And I have noticed that when I'm feeling compassionate and open-hearted, my body is relaxed. And I've also found when I relax my body, it's easier to be open-hearted. So sometimes I'll find myself in a situation where I'm not feeling open-hearted, and I'll be thinking, be compassionate, damn you, come on, think compassionate thoughts, be open-hearted and loving. And it doesn't work.
Yes.
Yeah. So I find when I relax my body, then something happens with my heart. It's something about relaxing the body and going to my center that allows my heart the space to open up. And I find that easier. And the fifth way I use relaxation in my Dharma practice is that I think relaxation has a lot to do with what we call guarding the gates of the senses. So this is another Dharmic practice, that what comes in is what goes out. So we are trying to limit the amount of input that comes in, the stimulation that comes into us, that heightens us. We're trying to slow that down. We're trying to slow ourselves down so that we've got time to respond appropriately. And so, for example, things like watching TV programs late at night that are, like shoot 'em ups and car chases and things like that. Something is really stimulating. You know that the next morning in your Dharma, in your meditation, the thing you're going to be thinking about is that movie last night with the car chase and the shooting. It's limiting that, trying to calm down the input that's going in. And I think that's relaxation for me. Is the way of noticing that. So when I'm getting stimulated, my body can tell me that because I'm tight. And if I can realize that, if I can watch that, then it's like, okay, that's not, and I was talking about the lodestar and the relaxation being the thing that shows you I'm going on the right path or the wrong. So if I notice I'm tight, well, why am I tight? Why am I not relaxed? Oh, because I just watched it. And everybody died, and then there's lots of explosions. So maybe next time, not so much. That's how, so that's the fifth way I use relaxation, to guard the gates of the senses. So I've been talking about all these things about how I use relaxation, but how do you get relaxed and how do you stay relaxed to help your Dharma practice? And for me, a lot of it is about not rushing. So I have this mantra in my head that says Buddhists don't rush. And that's because when I first started practicing, and this was more than 20 years ago, I was with a Thai temple here in Australia, Sydney. And there were monks there, and we were going back to Thailand once for something at the temple there. So I was travelling with two of the monks, and we went to Sydney Airport, and we were early, so I said to the monks, well, why don't we just go for a wander around the shops? Obviously, they couldn't touch money, so we weren't going shopping, we were just, killing time a bit, having a look. So we had a look around, have a little browse. I was quite enjoying that. The monk said to me, Suede, it's time to go. And I said, no, we've got plenty of time, we've got loads of time. Okay, so we kept shopping. Suede, it's time to go. No, we're fine, we've got loads of time. Suede, it's time to go. No, it's fine, come on, keep going. And then, over the loudspeaker, for the following passengers, please go to gate such and such, your plane is waiting to leave. And it was my name and the two monks. So then, of course, we had to rush to the gate. And the monk said to me afterwards, Suede, it's not good for a monk's name to be called a So that was a very nice way of explaining it. And then, Suede, monks do not rush. Okay. But that's true. I mean, rushing is something that is not helpful for your practice, I find. Because if I'm rushed, I'm impatient. And I'm stressed, and I don't see the gap, and my response is not as skillful as it could have been. So one is avoid rushing. Second is to be mindful of what you're doing and be aware of when you're getting tense. So making sure that you're watching the body and realizing when you're getting tense, which I find hard to do. The third one is no multitasking. So I have also a mantra that says Buddhists don't multitask. So again, this is my view, and you might want to discuss this in your groups afterwards. But multitasking, you're trying to do more than I'm trying to do more than one thing at once, and I'm naturally getting a bit stressed and a bit tight because I'm trying to do, rather than just focus and be present in the moment with that thing that I'm doing in a relaxed way. And the fourth way is to learn what gets you tight and affects your practice. So, for example, for me, it's often it's being organised. I'm not very organised. In fact, I'm extremely disorganised. So I'm more likely to be in a rush. Even writing this talk, when I got the idea for this talk, I was like 5 minutes away from a meeting with some other Buddhist friends of mine. And I had to get this talk down on paper. And then I quickly rushed as fast as I could. And then, because it was my Zoom room, so my Buddhist friends were sitting in the Zoom waiting room waiting for me. And so I ended up being late, making them wait and taking the not given, which was their time. So, yeah, so I'm doing exactly what I'm writing down. You shouldn't do this, and I'm doing it. So being aware of the things that make you tense and affect your practice. So for me, it's being organised. So that's the way I use relaxation in my Dharma practice. And my third thing I want to talk about is just relaxing into life in general. So I think it's important because we spend a lot of our time trying to control our lives, trying to manipulate it and massage it. And everything that comes in, what's this mean for me? What can I do with this? How can I benefit? How can I make sure I don't get hurt by this? I think it helps with Buddhist practice is to be able just to trust that you can manage life and just be able to let go into life. And I think that's part of the Dharma practice. I think our Buddhist practice gives us also the confidence to know in life we are on the right path, that we have an ethical framework and that we're doing okay and that we're doing our best. And I think that gives us a real sense of comfort and confidence, and it gives us the ability to relax into life comfortably. And the final thing I'd like to say is about relaxing into death. I think that's important too. There's a poem by Dylan Thomas that says, "Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage against the dying of the light." And I've always thought, no, don't rage against the dying of the light. I think it's important to relax into death. My father died a year and a half or 2 years ago now, and he did not relax, and he did rage, and it was extremely painful for him. So I think it's really important at the end of the day to be able to know that you're going to be able to let go, knowing that you've had a good life and worked to make your life as good through the Buddhist practice. So, and that's, I think, all we've got time for, and that's me. Thank you, everyone.